Mr. Woodard, you were arrested on 3 charges. 1 for terroristic threat against a peace officer, 1 for resisting arrest, search, or transportation, and 1 for evading arrest or detection. Can you afford an attorney to represent you for these charges?
Yes.
You can afford your own attorney,
Yep.
or would you like a court appointed? You
Or
want,
fine.
you want a court appointed?
I just want to go home. I've been here for 3 years.
Counselor, do you have anything you want to say?
No, Your Honor, it seems that he's requesting a court-appointed attorney, but other than that, based off what I'm reading on the arrest report, we concur with the ADA recommendation for the bond amount.
Okay. On the 2 county charges of resisting arrest and evading, the county attorney's office is releasing no PC. So those 2 charges will be dropped. On the felony charge of terroristic threat against a peace officer, the bond is set at $3,500. Conditions are K and O. While you're out on bond, you cannot commit any other violations against the state of Texas, any other state or the United States, and you must abstain from the use or possession of any illegal dangerous drug, narcotic, marijuana, alcohol without consent of a physician. Thank you, Mr. Woodard.
You've set
All right,
fucking
let's go.
3 or 4 years.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Now he's gonna jerk me around.
Let's go.
Thank you.
1 second. Beside me and then talk into this microphone, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, ready, Judge?
Mr. Blake, you were arrested on a charge of possession of a controlled substance, program 2 drug, equal to or greater than 1 gram, less than 4 grams. Can you afford an attorney to represent you for these charges?
No, sir.
You want one appointed to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, counselor.
Good morning, Judge. So after meeting with Mr. Blake, he's not an Amarillo resident. He lives out of state in Nevada, but he assures the court that he will be able to make all future court appointments or court appearances. Outside of that, Your Honor, we do concur with the state's recommendation for the bond amount. This is a nonviolent offense, and we're looking at, according to the P3, 5 pills of ecstasy.
All right, thank you. So you do work in Las Vegas?
Yes, sir. My dad is born and raised here, and then he moved to Vegas, but I have family here also. So yeah, I'll be able to make any future court.
Okay. I'm gonna set your bond at $5,000. Conditions are K and O. While you're out on bond, you cannot commit any other violations against the state of Texas, any other state, or the United States. And you must abstain from the use or possession of any illegal, dangerous drug, narcotic, marijuana, or alcohol without the consent of a physician. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. And, so the bond amount will be okay. And then if a bail bondsman or something, usually they take 10% and stuff like that. All right. Thank you.
They're right here, and then there's the microphone talking. Ready, Judge?
Mr. Hernandez, you were arrested on a charge of injury. It's a warrant for injury of a child or elderly or disabled person with intent of bodily injury. Can you afford an attorney to represent you for this?
No, sir.
You want a court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
Counselor?
Thank you, Judge. So Mr. Hernandez, he lives here in Amarillo. He resides here. He's not currently employed, but he assures the court that he will be able to make future appearances if he bonds out. Outside of that, Your Honor, we know they just picked up on a warrant. So I don't have a whole lot on the P3, but the recommendation from the ADA is low, so we concur.
Okay, are you currently on probation?
No, sir.
Currently on bond for anything?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna set your bond at $5,000. Conditions are F, K, and O. While you're out on bond, you can have no contact with Josephus. Is it Gruden? You cannot go within 200 yards of their residence, which will be an H. You cannot commit any other violations against the state of Texas, any other state of the United States, and you must abstain from the use or possession of any illegal, dangerous drug, narcotic, marijuana, or alcohol without the consent of a physician. Thank you.
Yep. I can stand right here and talk at a microphone. Ready, Judge?
Mr. Saucedo, you're arrested on a warrant for sex offender duty to register, either lifetime or annual,
Yes, sir.
for a lifetime annually.
Yes, sir.
Can you afford an attorney to represent you for this?
Yes, sir.
You can afford your own attorney to hire?
Oh, no. I need a court
Or
one.
court appointed, okay.
Yes, sir.
Similar situation, Your Honor. Currently resides in Amarillo. Is from Amarillo. Not a whole lot on the arrest report for me to go off of. Just we concur with the state's recommendation.
Okay. You work on a ranch in Canyon?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you currently on probation for anything?
No, sir. No, sir.
You currently out on bond for anything else?
Yes, sir.
For what?
Aggravated assault.
In Potter County or where?
Yes, sir. Potter County.
Okay. I'm gonna set your bond at $5,000. Conditions are K and O.
Okay.
While you're out on bond, you cannot commit any other violations against the state of Texas, any other state or the United States,
Okay.
and you must abstain from the use or possession of any illegal, dangerous drug, narcotic, marijuana, or alcohol without the consent of a physician.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, stand right here and then talk to the microphone. We're ready, Judge.
Mr. Wilhite,
Morning, Judge.
how are you?
Doing better.
Good. You were arrested on a warrant for continuous violence against family. Can you afford an attorney to represent you for this?
Yeah.
Afford to hire your own attorney?
Yes, sir.
You don't need a court appointed?
No, sir.
Okay, Counselor.
Thank you, Judge. So Mr. Wilhite currently resides here in Amarillo. He is employed for a tree service. Outside of that, the state's recommendation is pretty low, so we concur.
Okay. Thank you. How old are you? 20?
22.
Where are you staying at?
I'm staying with a friend right now because the person that I have these charges against is who I was living with. And it was my girlfriend at the time. She's like 35. Obviously that didn't work out, so I left.
Okay. I'm gonna set your bond at $5,000. Conditions of your bond, there's been a magistrate's order for protection issued between now and September the 2nd, 2025. You can have no contact, direct or indirect, with Bennett. Cannot go within 200 yards of her residence or place of employment. This order will be sent to you here in just a few minutes. You need to read it in its entirety and then sign it. Also, you cannot commit any other violations against the state of Texas, any other state or the United States. And you must abstain from the use or possession of any illegal, dangerous drug, narcotic, marijuana, or alcohol without the consent of a physician. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Stand right here and then talk to the microphone. Ready, Judge?
Okay, Ms. Gibson, you had an additional charge added for unauthorized use of a vehicle. It's a warrant. Can you afford an attorney to represent you for this?
No.
She has Sheriff Meyer.
Yeah, I already have an attorney.
You do? Is it court appointed or what?
Yes.
Okay, Counselor?
Thank you, Judge. We just asked that the bond be set at what the state's recommendation is.
Okay, your bond is set at $10,000. Conditions are K and O. While you're out on bond, you cannot not commit any other violations against the state of Texas, the United States, or any other state. And you must abstain from the use or possession of any illegal, dangerous drug, narcotic, marijuana, or alcohol without the consent of a physician. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here and then talking to that microphone. Ready, Judge?
Ms. Baker, you were arrested on a charge of assault, committing bodily injury of a family member. Can you afford an attorney?
No, sir.
Do you want one appointed to you?
There's like no way I can just plead no contest today.
No, not today. This is just to give you your rights and set your bond.
Okay. I can't. I'm retired. My husband and I are.
So you want a court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Please.
Counselor?
Okay, Judge. All right, Ms. Baker, I'm gonna ask you some questions. So what we're looking at here is a domestic charge between you and your husband. Do you and your husband live together?
Yes.
Do you have if you bond out, do you have a place to live separate from that address?
No.
No.
Listen, I have spoken with my husband.
So just answer my specific questions. We're not here to rehash your entire case. So outside of that, are you currently employed?
No, I'm retired.
It does create some issues, Your Honor, but no further questions. We just go along with whatever your recommendation is.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Libby.
That it?
No, not quite. Okay, your bond is set at $3,500.
Hey,
Conditions are F, G, H, K, and P. While you're out on bond, there's been a magistrate's order for protection issued. Between now and September 3rd, 2025, you can have no contact, direct or indirect, with Anthony Baker. You cannot go within 200 yards of his house or residence or place of employment. This order will be sent to you here in just a few minutes. You need to read it in its entirety and sign it. Also, you cannot commit any other violations against the state of Texas, any other state of the United States, and you may not possess any firearms or ammunition. Thank you.
All right, let's stand right here and then talk into that microphone. Ready, Judge?
Mr. Ledesma, you were arrested on a charge of assault, committing bodily injury of a family member. Can you afford an attorney to represent you for this?
No, no, sir.
You want one appointed to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Counselor?
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Ledesma, you live here in Amarillo?
Yes, sir.
If you were to bond out, is it gonna be a separate address than the alleged victim in this case?
Probably at my mom's house.
So you'll have a different place to stay?
Yes.
Okay. Outside of that, you're currently employed?
Yes.
Where you employed at?
At Riverside?
Is that job waiting for you if you get out of here?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, your bond is set at $3,500. Conditions are F, G, H, K, and P. While you're out on bond, there's been a magistrate's order for protection issued. You can have no contact, direct or indirect, from now until September the 3rd of 2025. You cannot go within 200 yards of her residence or place of employment. This order will be sent to you in just a few minutes, and you need to read it in its entirety and sign it. Also, you cannot commit any other violations against the state of Texas, any other state or the United States, and you may not possess any firearms or ammunition while you're on bond. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that microphone. Ready, Judge?
Okay, thank you. How do you say your last name? Did I say it right? Granillo?
It's Granillo.
Granillo?
Yes.
That better?
Yes, it's
Okay,
better.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
You were arrested on a charge of criminal trespass of a habitation.
Yes.
Can you afford an attorney to represent you for this?
Yes.
You can afford your own attorney to hire one?
Can my parents do it?
Yeah, your parents
Yeah.
can help you, but you don't need a court-appointed attorney?
Do I need an attorney?
Or
No, I don't want one.
You don't want a court-appointed
No.
counselor?
all right, Judge. So if you tell the judge, Alejandra, you live here in Amarillo.
Yes, sir.
You're currently 17.
Yes.
You're not employed.
No.
You did graduate high school recently.
Yeah.
Outside of that, Your Honor, we just asked for a low bond.
Thank you. You are out of high school. You have graduated?
Yes, sir. I graduated in May.
Okay, and you're not employed anywhere?
No, sir.
Are you currently on bond for anything else?
No, sir.
Are you on probation for anything?
No, sir.
We'll set your bond at $1,500. Conditions are K. While you're out on bond, you cannot commit any other violations against the state of Texas, the United States, or any other state. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
We'll stand right here and talk in the microphone. Ready, Your Honor?
Thank you. Mr. Rivera, you were arrested on a charge of driving while intoxicated.
Allegedly, I did a blood sample and
Right, correct. But until the results come back from that, you're still
Yeah.
got a bond out of jail. So,
yeah.
Can you afford an attorney to represent you for this charge?
Well, I think so.
Okay, so you don't need a court-appointed attorney?
Oh, well, if you could provide one, meanwhile, I get somebody. I'm having a hard time to get somebody to do.
Okay, counselor?
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Rivera, so you're asking for the court to appoint you an attorney?
I mean,
Yeah.
if I could bond myself out.
Can you just tell him yes or no?
Oh, yeah, just go ahead.
Yes, okay. Outside of that, where do you live?
Here in Amarillo,
Where are you originally from?
from Chihuahua.
Are you a citizen of Mexico?
Oh yeah,
Okay. And you're here in America on work visa?
yeah, I have one.
Okay. Outside of that, we just asked for a reasonable bond, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. You're an engineer?
Yeah,
For who? You're self-employed?
yeah. I own property and it's a business here.
Okay. Are you currently on bond for anything else?
What's that?
Are you currently on bond for anything
Oh,
else?
no, sir.
On probation for anything?
No,
Okay,
my first time.
okay. I'm gonna set your bond at $2,000. Conditions are E and K. While you're out on bond, you cannot consume any alcohol,
Okay.
and you cannot commit any other violations against the state of Texas, any other state, or the United States. Okay? Thank you.
Hey, sir. Could I pay that? I have money in my.
Now they'll work it out with you.
Oh, I have to.
You'll stand right here and talk in the microphone. Ready, Judge?
Ms. Guzman, you were arrested on a charge of criminal trespass. Can you afford an attorney to represent you for this?
No, sir.
Do you want one appointed?
Sure. Yeah.
Counselor? Okay, thank you. Counselor?
Thank you, Judge. Excuse me, if you were to bond out, do you have a place to stay?
Yes.
Tell the judge where that is.
I don't know the address, but my sister just barely moved there, and I don't know the
Is
address.
that local by Amarillo?
It's almost out in Claude.
Okay,
But
out in Quad.
almost by Claude, yeah.
Outside of that, do you have a place to work?
No, I was planning on trying to go to school and go further than there. I mean, I've been talking with my family about it.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor. We should ask for a reasonable bond.
Thank you. I'm gonna set your bond at $1,000. I am gonna make it a personal bond. Conditions are K. While you're out on bond, cannot commit any other violations against the state of Texas, any other state of the United States. You're not gonna have a bondsman checking up on you, so that piece of paper on it, there's a phone number you have to call to check your court appearances. So keep up with your court appearances, okay?
Yes, sir.
If not, they'll surrender your bond and you'll be back in here, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
That's it.
Yeah. Stand right here and then talk into that microphone.
Okay.
Ready, Judge?
Mr. Amador, you were arrested on a warrant for assault, domestic violence.
Yes, sir.
Can you afford an attorney to represent you for this?
No, sir.
You want one appointed to you,
Yes, sir.
Counselor?
Thank you, Judge. So Mr. Amador, do you live here in Amarillo?
Yes, sir.
That address you live at, is that the same as the alleged victim in this case for the warrant you were arrested on?
Yes, but I could find the address if I have to.
So somewhere else to live separate from there?
Yeah.
So that's gonna be one of your bond conditions most likely.
Yeah.
Outside of that,
Yeah, I could go stay with my mom.
can you tell the judge where you're employed at?
SSI Foods,
How long you been there?
about altogether about 4 years.
No further questions. We just ask for a low bond, Your Honor.
Thank you. I'm gonna set his bond at $3,000. Conditions are F, H, K, and P. While you're out on bond, you cannot have any contact, direct or indirect, with the victim of this warrant, with this charge. You cannot go within 200 yards of their residence or their place of business or where they work. You cannot commit any other violations against the state of Texas, any other state of the United States, and you may not possess any firearms or ammunitions while you're on bond, okay?
Yes, sir.
We'll stand right here and then talk into that microphone. Yes, sir. Ready, Judge?
All right, Mr. Snyder, you were arrested on a warrant out of Potter County for bond surrender, evading arrest or detention. And you were arrested on a warrant out of Randall County for bond surrender, credit card abuse. Can you afford an attorney, or do you already have an attorney on these charges? What's your status?
I have an attorney on these charges, but I believe now I'm gonna fire him. I don't know how I do that and stuff. I have an appointed attorney. I'm thinking about getting. I mean, there's just a lot of.
You gonna hire your own attorney? Is that what you're saying?
I would like to. I mean, I don't know about. It depends on kind of what happens with all this, how much this is going to cost.
Okay. Okay. Counselor?
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Snyder, do you live here in Amarillo?
Yes.
Are you currently unemployed?
Not no.
Where do you mean you are unemployed?
Well, I will be if I stay here any longer.
So you're saying you have a job, where do you work at?
I work for a plumbing company.
How long have you worked there?
On and off for about 3 years.
Is that a company here in Amarillo?
Yeah.
And that job is probably waiting for you if you bond out?
Yes.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, Judge Weaver on the bond surrender for evading arrest or detention has set your bond at $18,000. And Randall County on credit card abuse has set your bond at $7,000. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Stand right here and then talk into that microphone. Ready, Judge?
Mr. Stuart, you were arrested on a warrant for terroristic threat or causing fear of imminent serious bodily injury. Can you afford an attorney to represent you for this?
I don't have nothing, sir.
You want one appointed to you?
Yes, please, sir.
Counselor?
Thank you, Judge. All right, Mr. Stewart, so that address you live at is 109 North Virginia, is that where you live,
Yes, sir.
here in Amarillo?
I'm trying.
Okay.
Where I don't lose it.
Does anybody else live at that address?
Yes, sir. My roommate, George Dela Cruz.
Is that the alleged victim for this charge, for this case, or that?
Oh, I don't even know what person was.
Are you currently employed?
No,
You're
sir.
not, okay.
No, social security check.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna set your bond at $2,000. Conditions are K while you're out on bond, cannot commit any other violations against the state of Texas, any other state or the United States. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
That it?
Yes, sir. That's it. So I stay here until.
On out.
Working tomorrow?
I don't have no. Yes, sir. I believe so.
All right. If you're not doing them, just leave them a note, 11:30.